Okay. So yeah, as I was just saying, that's really the way it's designed for this league to make it easier. And I even have like a calendar on here that makes it. I go out of my way to make sure that there's certain parts of the year where you're not going to be bothered by it. Like anytime that other sports is in playoffs, you don't have to worry about doing anything other than sitting back and enjoying the playoffs. You don't have to worry about, well, I mean, other than the fact that your team's going to be in it, possibly. But aside from that, you don't have to do anything. You just sit back and just watch. So you've watched the videos, right? What do you think so far?
Yes. I talking to my friend John about it. I like this idea. This is a very clever idea. It is suited for somebody with a busy schedule that is still a sports fan. The first thing that kind of came into my mind, which is kind of an aspect of what happened with the Penguins here recently, it's like you almost get to be the Fenway Sports Group as like an owner.
Yeah, that's the way putting it.
Teams since they, purchased the Penguins, 2-3 years ago or whatnot. So it gives you that wide aspect of pick a team in different sports. You're not siloed into one sport, which makes it so much more interesting. So again, at the beginning of our conversation, what made me get into football through fantasy was you got to be involved with every game. If you had a player on that, on a different team. So like the 1:00 games today, there's like 6 of them. I think I have players on 5 of the games. So I have a little bit of interest in each game. With what this league is looking like, now you have a horse in the race, so to say, in every kind of sports league. So again, you don't have to meticulously follow the player day to day like fantasy baseball. You're just following the team, so to say. And you can't really control what goes underlying that. You just want to take a team that you feel is best at the core. So having general sports knowledge makes your skills better at picking for this league. So I find that aspect truly interesting. So it's kind of an exciting new concept. So I must say, I like the idea.
Awesome. That's good to hear. Did you have any further questions on it or anything?
So I think so. What sports are we encompassing? Leagues, I'm sorry, so to say. I think John mentioned it, but yeah, let's go through it again. Which ones are we proposing here? Obviously, I imagine the big 3 of NFL, NHL, and NBA.
And baseball, yeah. So it's all 4.
And baseball. Oh, 4. Okay.
And then it's pretty much so like go ahead.
Yeah,
yes.
my question is, would you over time expand it to other leagues? Like you could. I mean, this is a suggestion, so to say, but as like I mentioned earlier, all of a sudden the WNBA is actually popular. I mean, so and in the future you can incorporate more. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You could even throw soccer in there if you wanted to. So,
all right. So
I just didn't know from your perspective what you were thinking of how big you wanted it to be. So maybe that's a question.
No, that's a great question. When we originally started doing this, there was some talk that we would try to bring in a soccer league, either like the Premier League or like La Liga or something like that.
Right.
My problem that happened with me was that we didn't really have. In order to do this, plus the channel, I wanted to be able to have somebody that really knew something about it, and none of us really knew. I mean, I don't have a problem sitting back and following one of those leagues. I really don't. But my expertise is like basically down to hockey, and that's mainly it. I find a wing it on everything else. So I got a guy over here who's good for basketball. I got a guy that's good for pick one, and I got something for that. But nobody's really into that. Now, if you were like to anybody, like for yourself, if you wanted to design your own, as long as it's got like, a league that's got standings and whatnot, you could bring anything.
Right.
You could be in WNBA. It could be anything. I mean, you pick it, you could put it in there.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's another great aspect to the idea of this league that, like you said, as long as you can incorporate a measurable statistic as far as a ranking, then yeah, the possibilities could be endless.
And you
So
have to make sure you have enough guys in your league that actually want to do it. That's the other thing too.
right,
So
yeah, that's the interest of it as well too.
yeah, but yeah,
Um,
you could.
from yeah, I mean, you could go anywhere with that. From fantasy perspective, and having a lot of friends that do fantasy, the more you can hedge it, so to say. If you have more opportunities to pick a something that can get you more points, people might be intrigued. So yeah, once people get, in my opinion, get involved with this new league and get accustomed to it and understand it, then you could expand it even more. I mean, fantasy football for me in my first league, I mean, it was like 10 guys. Now I'm in a league with like 16, and there wasn't PPR and all this stuff. You just come up with all new ideas and keeper leagues and all this stuff. So you could expand it however you wanted as long as you had the interest. So
Yeah, absolutely. Got anything else for me?
well, what was the other? So when the drafting, you're keeping a team for how many seasons or whatnot?
It's between one and
I don't know.
five. It's kind of like the way we did it was whenever you drafted, say you did the auction draft, right? And then you say you win the bid. If you after you've won the bid, and we didn't get into like trying to like factor in how many years times to get how many years to get the maximum of money. We just said whoever got the highest bid then could select how many years they wanted. And then so it's between 1 and 5 is the way we did it. So you can end up with the team for 5 years, but of course you're taking a big risk with that because you don't know, how long they're going to be good or how long they're going to be good and all that. So yeah,
So
between
yeah,
one and
that comes
five.
into skill, into knowing when. So say a team like the Chiefs, which I think they're being the kings of the NFL days are kind of numbered because Mahomes ain't what he used to be. So if you like bid for something like that, maybe you take that more of a short term kind of deal. But then you have somebody that's more upcoming, like I don't know, like the Bills or whatnot, because I think Josh Allen's just getting better each year. You maybe go a little bit longer on that. So that I like that aspect of picking how long, because if you have a team that's got maybe one more Super Bowl in them, or like let's take example the Penguins where they won back to back, like you knew that was only going to last so long. So how much do you want to invest into it? So that is a neat aspect from that. And then my other question is, do you plan to have the draft? Because you want to try to get it before each thing starts. So.
All right. So the way it works is we did our draft in February, and we have like a maximum of 11 teams you could have. We drafted for only 9, so then you could have 9, and then before every actual season starts, we do like our own kind of like free agency. And what I do is I'll set up like each day I'll have a team that goes up for bid, and you can put however much you want into it. So in our draft, we used 180 total for our play money, and then 200 total. So we left like another 20 that you could use in free agency to pick up whatever you wanted. So we had one in of course right before baseball season in March, and then we had one in August right before football, and then 2 in September right before hockey and basketball. And so during those times, you're trying to pick up somebody else. Now you got to realize in the first year you're doing this, it's like a lot of the teams that are left are the ones that didn't get drafted, so you don't know what you're getting. It's more of a crapshoot. But then at the same time, like there were 2 massive teams that were not drafted that did really well in baseball season. I can tell you already, which was the Blue Jays and the Tigers. And yeah, I mean, still nobody has the Blue Jays. Nobody still has the Blue Jays.
Nobody would have. Who would have thought the Blue Jays would be a contender? But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Anyway, so yeah, that's how you work it out every year. And then for year 2, I'm not even going to track it until after the hockey and basketball playoffs end for the 2025 season, and then I'll just switch it over because the first part of it is really just the baseball anyway, and you don't really need to follow that until like All-Star break really. That's when it really starts to get interesting anyway. So yeah, it's a long season, but again, like you're not really doing that much other than those periods of times. And then we also have two times, I think it's November and July, where we have open trading. So, you can trade your team for another team. Could be any sport. It's totally open. As long as it goes through the cap, it
I mean,
works.
yeah, I mean, to me, it's a great idea and a great concept because one, it's something to look forward to year round. Like you said, there's key dates spread months apart, so it gives you something like everybody looks forward to doing their fantasy football draft. For me personally, it's always Labor Day weekend, and I get to see all these guys that I only see once a year, like people I knew from college and everything. It's that
Right,
one
yeah.
day that you get together, you hang out, and you do the draft. So I always look forward to that every year. But now, from like how you're describing in this league, it's and I don't. It doesn't necessarily need to be a personal get together, but it is a get together of some sort where you're involved with the people in your league, and there's some actionable thing that you get to do. So once fantasy football is over, pretty much in December, you're you're not doing it again until September the next year. So it is a very good idea at the front of that you can be involved with it throughout the year. And again, as you said, don't really need to pay much attention to day-to-day games. You're just keeping an eye on your team, whatever you have, and just keeping an eye on the standings every so often. So no, I like the concept, and I think it's a great idea. It's a very different approach, and I think it's a very more manageable type of league for more busy individuals. So I like it.
Awesome, awesome.